the fourth episode of the MDMC 19. Facebook Live series. We have many things happening: podcasts, blogs, Facebook Live. Today we are chatting with an awesome speaker, Mr. Chris Strub. He's been involved with the conference for, I want to say, 3 years now. It feels like I've known him forever. He is the author of 50 States, 100 Days, the book, and it is about his 50 state and 100-day adventure to work with youth-related nonprofits nationwide. He's known best for the Giving Day guy for his work with Giving Days, including Give STL Day this year that's happening in May. Before I introduce him some more, let's take a quick look at a video that will show you so much about his work with nonprofits and how his book came to be.
Day 83. State number 40. Big Brothers Big Sisters, number 7. Southern Maine, you're up. Let's do it. After a transformational volunteer experience with a nonprofit, I decided I needed to do something big. I decided to visit a youth-related nonprofit in all 50 U.S. states to help with their cause, to raise awareness, and to use live streaming technologies to help spread the word. And I was going to do it all in 100 days. 50 States, 100 Days is a heartfelt hug for humanity, an inspirational tale of everyday heroes across America and the young people that represent our nation's future. And now, you're invited along for the ride. 50 States, 100 Days, the film.
So that was so awesome just to see how much that you have done. You did it in 100 days, which is crazy. So I just want to, Chris, can you tell us a little bit more about what you do and your passion? And then I think you have something exciting to share with everyone for about today's Facebook Live.
Yeah, for sure. And I wanted to say thank you, Brianna, for having me on. And also thank you to Stephanie, who I know is watching behind the scenes today, helping us produce. Just can't wait to hang out with you guys again in St. Louis. You did a great job with the introduction. I'm kind of known as the 50 States and 100 Days guy. And I do have a couple copies of 50 States, 100 Days, the book here. Now, if you've been to MDMC before, you've probably seen me walking around with copies of the book. I've given away some at my sessions and to some people that I've connected with through the hashtag via Twitter and Instagram. And we're going to do that again today, Brianna. So for those of you guys who are taking your time watching here on a lovely Monday afternoon, we just want you to share this broadcast out, let everybody know that we're spreading the message of MDMC. And then at the end of the broadcast, we're actually going to pick a couple of winners, and I will sign some books and send them out to 2 different people that share this broadcast out. So it's exciting. We're gonna bring some additional value to those viewers that are watching here live today.
Awesome. Yes. So share this broadcast and you may win one of Chris's books. And then also, if you're coming to MDMC, you'll get to meet him. So if you haven't attended one of our episodes before, feel free to ask any questions you have in the comments, and we'll grab them either during the show or towards the end and answer them. And of course, you can always leave a comment after, and we will grab those and answer those as well. But I'm just going to dive right into some questions, Chris, if you're good with that.
Bring it on. Let's do it.
All right. So the first question I want to ask, because I know you are big into live streaming. If you guys follow Chris, you probably know that as well. How are you using live streaming video to benefit your clients?
Great question. So I love live streaming video. I'm really excited to be on the panel about live streaming with Stephanie, with Bonnie, and with Daphne, who I love all 3 of these. So you guys are going to love this panel when you come through MDMC. It's one of the most popular panels each year. But here in 2019, I've really taken to adapting live streaming as the Giving Day guy, which you mentioned in my introduction as well. I'm actually, for those of you who are watching, from UMSL or you're local to the St. Louis community, this is particularly cool that right after MDMC, I'm going to be coming back to St. Louis to work with Give STL Day and the folks from the Community Foundation there in St. Louis to create 24 hours of live streaming video content at that giving day. And I get a chance to do that in March with the Big Give in San Antonio. I've also worked with Give for Good Louisville, right down the highway there from St. Louis. And so we're really creating this engaging, interactive, informative, valuable content around this community-wide initiative with Give STL Day and with a number of other giving days around the United States. And, over the years, Brianna, we've had a lot of discussions about the best iterations for live streaming, right? We talk a lot about how easy it is to just push the button and get started with live streaming, but how can we apply that? Really using it to focus on philanthropic efforts like Giving Day has been a great natural progression for my career here in 2019.
Awesome. That's so exciting. And thank you for coming to St. Louis to do that. I know it's such a great day here in St. Louis, and there's so many amazing nonprofits to work with. So it's just really awesome and exciting. And then a lot of people look at different social networks to connect with people, and most people usually think of LinkedIn as a big connecting network, but why, in your opinion, I know you really like Twitter, why is Twitter a great opportunity in particular to connect with people, especially at conferences like MDMC?
Oh, sure. So we can talk all about the power of a hashtag, right? So, of course, the hashtag for MDMC this year is MDMC 19, right? And sometimes it's just kind of cliche. We just kind of throw it out there. It's amazing when you really think about how powerful a hashtag can be, because it represents all of the conversations that are taking place around that conference or around that event at a specific time, right? With a conference in particular, people are really throwing a lot of attention and energy into that hashtag, and they're basically raising their hand and saying, hey, I'm here, I'd love to connect with you, like, let's have a conversation, let's meet up, right? So to be able to use Twitter as a primary platform during a conference allows you to really see the full spectrum of conversations that are taking place. That's not to say there's anything wrong with sharing some of your insights and some videos and stuff on Facebook or even on Instagram, but for my time and my energy, Brianna, the most valuable spot to share content where everybody can see what you're doing and vice versa is going to be Twitter, just because of the way that we can collect that data and really get a full picture of what's happening at the Union Station Hotel in St. Louis.
Yeah, and I really like how you're talking about that, the hashtag, because it really is, it's kind of this icebreaker. It's like this something we all have in common when we're using the same hashtag. So you can talk to somebody and you can at least find something in common to kind of start that conversation off.
Yeah, and Brianna, I think there's more to it than just the fun and the joy of getting a like or a retweet. I love sharing the story of how at the very first conference that I went to back in 2014 down in Atlanta, it's called the Social Shakeup. I entered into a number of conversations with other attendees and speakers. One of them, his name is Dan Genghis, and now Dan is one of my closest friends. I've been on Dan's podcast. I visited Dan in Chicago. We've spoken on different stages. We're both speaking at Social Media Marketing World in March. And, it's really exciting. I actually had a chance to work with Dan at Humana because we built a relationship that started because we were able to connect at a social media conference through that hashtag. And, we could talk all day long about the connections that are made at MDMC. I think that's really the most special part of the event. But a lot of that can be sparked just by putting your ear to the ground and listening to what other people are saying and jumping into those conversations that are already taking place.
100%. I have met so many people on Twitter before actually meeting them in real life. And it's so funny because you almost build these relationships that could go on for years, and then you finally get to meet them in real life, and you've known each other a long time. I even actually met Perry Drake, the founder of MDMC, on Twitter before we actually then met in real life and have been friends and coworkers since.
Yeah, and I can add on to that too. I mean, one of my best friends these days is Vernon Ross, right? And we
love Vernon.
Right? Shout out to Vernon. I don't know if he's watching or not, but
I'll tag him.
I saw Vernon on Twitter. You guys, I think it was the first year that I came. You guys were doing these little preview videos where you're showing us the hotel and telling us a little bit more about the sessions and stuff. And Vernon's got his little bow tie on, so obviously his videos
always
are on Thursday, right? And so I just want to emphasize this for all of the attendees, especially the students that are coming through, right? That sometimes you see people on these videos on social media and it can be a little bit intimidating. And I was actually at one of the after parties, and I was kind of shy and I was kind of afraid to go up and say hello to Vernon because he's the guy on the video, right? Like, this is the dude. Like, I can't say hi to that guy. And if you know Vernon at all, I'm
That's so not Vernon.
It's the total opposite of who he is, right? And it's the same thing. I know Stephanie is behind the scenes here watching as well. Like, when you see Stephanie at MDMC, you need to go up and say hello, give her a high five, like, go introduce yourself, because the reason we put ourselves out there on video is because we want to make these connections, right? There's nothing institutionalized about this, right? We're putting ourselves out there because we want to really connect and help you. And that really, to me, Brianna, we'll talk more about this, is what MDMC is all about, is trying to reach our hands out as professionals and say, we want to help you any way that we can.
Yes, that is awesome. I guess just on that topic, this is, again, like I said, I believe it's your third year at MDMC this coming year. Okay, yes, he has his little badge. He's got his badges, so this will be his third year. Get his third one on there. But why do you keep coming back specifically to MDMC year after year? And what do you think makes it, different from other conferences?
Well, there's so many things about MDMC that make this a really special event. And if you've been there before, you know how professional and just how clean and organized everything really is. There's such a high quality caliber of speakers that comes in that I've had a chance to learn from so many of the different sessions over the years as well. Hopefully this year I'll get a chance to attend some more sessions. I know last year I felt like I was speaking every hour, every day, which was great. It's awesome and humbling. But I'm really looking forward to learning a little bit more this year as well. But Brianna, I think what really separates and what really differentiates MDMC from other conferences around the country is the commitment to the next generation of digital thought leaders and the young people at UMSL and other colleges and around the region and around the country. I know you and Perry have worked really hard this year to put together a program that really emphasizes how we want to increase attendance for students and academics. I know Dr. Karen Freeberg is coming through, and there's going to be more of an emphasis on that academic side. And just the way that the conference really gives back with the scholarships and things that you guys put together, it just feels like such a special, giving, really sort of a place where if you're 18, 19, 20, 21, and you're not sure where to get started, MDMC is the perfect spot for you to come in, to meet the leaders in your industry at a very, very inexpensive rate, and really just supercharge and get your plan started by listening to some of the very best in the country from some of the best brands in the country as well.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's the great thing, why Perry started the conference is just students now, digital marketing students, just general, you have to be at these industry events. You have to be learning what all the other current marketers are learning if you want to stay ahead of the game and really just keep up and get your career on a nice smooth track. And I think we are different in that we're just really focused on education for marketers at all levels, from students to experts because there's always something to learn. We try to stay, know every update that happens and every single, change Facebook makes, but it's hard to keep on top of all that yourself. So learning from the experts is helpful. All right.
You guys do such a fantastic job too of laying out all of the different topics and really making sure that everything in the industry is being covered, right? Like, I love focusing more on the social media side of things, but really, as you look at all of the different sessions as they're laid out, there's really something for everyone of all different experience levels, and all different topics that are going to really give you a variety of options to be able to, like, I sometimes wish I could split my brain up into 3 or 4 parts.
Oh wait, I always wish I could attend.
Yeah,
I make my ideal conference and then I can't attend it because I'm running it. So that's kind of what happens every time.
You guys are just a little bit busy when we run.
I'm running around a little crazy. Every year it gets a little less crazy, but if you guys haven't been to MDMC, I think right now we will show you a little sneak peek video of what you can expect at this year's conference. right, so that gave you guys a little sneak peek of what you can expect. Showed you a little bit about last year and some things this year. Over 100 speakers, 8 awesome workshops right now. It's going to be a great event. And if you're just joining us, don't forget, share this post, and you could possibly win a copy of Chris's books signed. But I want to jump back in. So we were just talking about the conference and why it's important to students, and that and this year how we're doing it a little bit different. I guess, how would you advise students how to get the most out of this conference, especially it might be their first industry event that they might be attending, so it can be a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
So
Brianna, one of my best lessons would be to do your homework, right? And that's ironic, as we're all adults now, we don't have to do homework anymore, right? That was the one thing when I graduated from college, I was like, I don't have to do any more homework for the rest of my life. But really, the key is going to be putting in the work before you get to the conference, right? There are so many ways that you can learn and get to know. Let's just start with the speakers, right? Like, if you wanted to establish a relationship with Stephanie Liu before you came to MDMC, you could send her a tweet. You could follow her on Instagram. You could join the 360 Marketing Squad. You could go back and rewatch one of her old Facebook Live videos or a YouTube video. And you can really get to know something about probably all of the speakers, especially those of us who have done a lot of videos, so that when you do come up and get a chance to introduce yourself, you bring some business cards or whatever sort of digital material you might have on you. Knowing something about the people that you want to connect with at a social media conference is going to be so much easier than any other conference you might attend, because all of our digital backstories are there. Right? Like, if you wanted to establish a relationship with me, you get a copy of 50 States, 100 Days of the book. You tell me reiterate to me one story from that book, and I will be your best friend forever. Right? Like, when you take the time to understand and appreciate what somebody else is doing and the work that they do, and it doesn't have to be, I like to do this at scale, right? I'll do this with dozens of people. I'll know who I want to speak to, go in with a little list on your phone and say, these are the 20 speakers that I want to talk to. But really, Brianna, it could just be one, right? It could be one or two people that you see on that speaking list, or you see are tweeting using the hashtag in advance of the event, that you can build relationships with before you get there. And then when you're able to, as Brian Fanzo would say, turn that handshake into a hug, now you've opened yourself up to possibly getting that job, or possibly getting that internship, or being on somebody's podcast, or whatever that goal is that you're trying to set. When you do the work in advance of that conference, the conference is going to be just so much more valuable for you to step in and just hit the ground running.
Yes, definitely. So I totally agree. There's a lot of sessions, so it might be hard to choose. So spend time. The whole program schedule is up there already, so on our website, so you can go in and start planning your day out, and picking and choosing what you want to attend. And yeah, definitely bring in business cards. Have your social media handles on there, so that people can easily follow you. Get your LinkedIn profile up to date. Just really kind of getting all your ducks in a row. But yeah, that'll make the conference just even better.
Yeah, and Brianna, it's amazing how this work, again, I love just giving real life examples of how this actually plays into real life success. And I have to go back to the first MDMC that I attended back in 2017. I met a gentleman named Ross Woods, who is a digital storyteller and a producer at Schofield Digital Storytelling in Indianapolis. And Ross had done exactly what I just said. He had done his homework before the conference began. He knew that I had gone to 50 states in 100 days. He knew that I had a book, which had just come out at that conference, which was pretty cool. It was like the debut of 50 States, 100 Days, the book. And Ross made an intentional effort to network with me. He did this bowling event, which he did last year as well, and I'm sure we'll have another kind of first night networking after party with Ross again. And just the same way I told the story with Dan before, Ross has become one of my very best friends. I talk to Ross on the phone more than I talk to anybody else now. And when we showed that trailer from the film before, Ross actually is the producer that created the film. So I worked with Ross. I went to Indianapolis and created this film with Schofield Digital Storytelling because of a relationship that was born at MDMC 2017. So if that doesn't tell you the
Yeah.
real power that you can build through doing your homework and intentionally networking at a conference like this, I don't know what does. I mean, there's now a film based on that was born
On a
from
relationship.
going bowling in St. Louis with a guy that I met at your conference.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it really is. As much as it is the sessions and what you're going to learn there, and those takeaways, especially for a student starting their career, really meeting these people that can mentor you and just give you advice about how to get started in the industry, and because it can be overwhelming sometimes to get in, and so you can really just it can be the perfect start to your career attending this. Another special benefit that students get is if your university or college or high school, whatever, they bring in a group of 8 or more students, you get a special little swag bag at the conference as a student that will include Chris's book. So and since we are giving away some today, I'd love if you could just tell us a little bit more about the book from in addition to what we learned in your video.
Sure. So in the summer of 2015, I quit my job here in Greenville, South Carolina, to go on a 50-state, 100-day road trip. The trip was unsponsored, and this was right at the outset. This was when live streaming was getting underway, right? This was the days of Meerkat and really the new era of Periscope as well. But more importantly than the technology side of things, I worked with a different youth-related nonprofit organization in each state. And in Missouri, it was Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Ozarks, which is a little bit down the road, but not too far for an attendee to come up to MDMC, right? And it's kind of become my signature story. I did an interview with Mitch Jackson before on his podcast, and I told him that that's going to be the first line of my epitaph, right? That'll be on my gravestone someday. Is he's the 50 states, 100 days guy, and it was really special to be able to continue to share the stories over the years now of organizations like Youth Rebuilding New Orleans, Opportunity Village in Las Vegas, True Colors up in Hartford, Connecticut, and just on and on and on. So many different stories that kind of string together into this book that has also now, as you saw, become 50 States, 100 Days, the film. It's kind of my signature story, so to speak, right? And that's a lot of what we'll talk about at MDMC. I know there's a personal branding panel as well, is like, what are you known for? What do other people say about you when you're not in the room? What is the story that people can tell about you? For me, it's 50 States, 100 Days, which is parlayed into some of the big brand partnerships with Humana. I also worked as a National Red Kettle Ambassador with the Salvation Army. I worked with Big Brothers Big Sisters of America. And so it was really, really special to be able to take that leap, to go out and really see what America is really all about, get to know some of these non-profiteers and really kind of parlay that into the career that I've established now here in 2019 with as the Giving Day guy.
That is awesome. Well, so if you're watching and you want to go and you have some friends that want to go, if there's 8 or more of you, you guys will definitely get a copy of Chris's book. So another reason to attend MDMC. But you talked a bit about, your panel and like some of the other speakers you met. This year in particular, who are you really excited about seeing speak? I know you are excited about seeing more speakers actually in their sessions this year.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we mentioned Dr. Karen Freeberg, right? And I think I'm very, very excited to see how the academic track expands out. I know she's going to be speaking with a number of different panelists as well. So I'm really, really excited to see how Dr. Freeberg and others are working towards teaching some of these lessons that you and I and Stephanie and Perry, we all talk about all the time. How is that translating forward in academia? Right. I'm really excited to see Caitlin Brower, who I know you interviewed last week. So big shout out to Caitlin. I know she did a great job on the live show. I'm sure she talked about her live show as well. I know that one of her big goals in 2019 was to get up on stage and speak at a social media conference. And this is what I talk about, right? That I've had a chance
I didn't even know that.
to become friends with Caitlin and really try and encourage her and push her to get out there and to speak. And so I'm incredibly excited to go see Caitlin there. And of course, I mentioned Daphne LeBlanc, who's coming up from Texas, who's going to join us on the live streaming panel. I got a chance to see Daphne at Social Media Day Tulsa 2018. I just kind of swung down there. I think it was right after MDMC last year, actually. I just drove down south and I was like, who is this, right? Like I was still on my Stephanie Lou high. Like, man, that Stephanie Lou just totally blew me away. And now I met this other gal, Daphne, who just, I felt like she almost matched Stephanie's energy. And now when you come to MDMC this year, you're going to see me I'm going to have them sit on both sides of me. So I'm going to feel like I'm like levitating into the air with seriously, the two most energetic women I think I've ever been around. Just kind of, I'm just going to sit and listen because these women along with
listen and learn. Just listen and absorb it.
That's really what it's all about, is going and just absorbing as much as you can. I think I know Heather and Isaac from GoDaddy are both coming back.
Yep.
Well.
Isaac's been a couple times, but yeah, Heather's joining them this year, which we're really excited about.
The list goes on. And just like you, Brianna, I looked at the schedule and I was like, yep, I'll be there. And it's just, it's so cool because you do that research in advance, right? If you don't know who these people are, you might not feel the same way. But I want to encourage the viewers right now and the listeners, even if you're watching on replay, to do this, right? I want you to open up Twitter. I want you to go on there and just write look at the speakers list and then just pen a personalized tweet to one of the speakers on there to whom you really want to learn more about. And if you're not sure who to do that with, just send a tweet to Heather Dotson, right? Heather Dopson, and be like, hey, Heather, I don't know anything about you, but I'm super excited to meet you at MDMC. I heard all about you from Chris Strub on the live stream with Brianna on Monday, and I can't wait to meet you. And I want you to watch. It doesn't matter who you are, how many followers you are, whatever it is. First of all, I guarantee Heather will write back, but also I'm sure you'll have the opportunity to go say hi to Heather. If not, I will make sure that it happens because I will put my arm around her and say, hey, this young man wanted to meet you, right? And that's how the magic happens, right? Who are the people out there that are taking the initiative to want to connect and to want to network and to want to take those steps forward? That to me is what MDMC is all about, right? Is you have these opportunities right there in front of you. Right, you have Stephanie Lou up on stage, jumping and screaming, saying like, "Come meet me. I am here for you." I do the same thing, right? That we want to help any way that we can, and I hope that comes across in this video as well. That's what we're coming to St. Louis for. Sorry, Brianna.
Yeah. I love it. You get excited.
Bring it.
Yes. But no, definitely you can find all the speakers on their profiles. The majority of them have added their social media handles, so you can find them and connect with them. Just go to bestmarketingconference.com and go to the speakers section, and then you can just scroll through all the speakers or go through the program, see what you like, and find a speaker you like. But yeah, I mean, definitely, like Chris said, you want to go in, you want to look at all the schedules, see what you want to attend. If there's very large chance there's going to be more than one session at a time that you're going to want to attend. The option there would be to do a upgraded pass if you have the opportunity to do that, just because that does come with the audio recordings of all the sessions. But you do get the PowerPoint decks no matter what pass you get. You do get the decks. And of course, if you meet with the speaker afterwards, I'm sure they'll share some insights too. We're all about sharing the love and the knowledge at MDMC. And I want to see if we have any questions. I know people are having a good time watching today. No specific questions right now. And let's see. All right. Yeah, so let's see who we got. If you're watching now, I'll give you a few more seconds, a few more minutes, or we'll see, to share the video. And you can be entered to win a free copy, signed copy of Chris's book. Sorry, I'm looking at my other monitor. And I will see what else. A couple other things that I know are exciting that I love about MDMC and where I get to kind of relax a little bit are the after parties, which we will be announcing soon. There'll be networking after parties. There'll be two of them. There will be one on end of day 1, which will be the April 17th, and one on the end of day 2, which will be April 18th. And then if you do the VIP pass, there's also the VIP party on the evening of April 16th. So that's always a fun thing that you can kind of network and meet speakers and meet other people attending in a relaxed atmosphere. Oh, I see Vanessa Cabrera just joined. How are you doing, Vanessa? You are actually our special guest next Monday. So you guys are going to meet another great speaker next Monday.
Can never have too much Chicago love here in this St. Louis-based conference. I know it takes. I'm a Chicago Cubs fan myself, and it takes a lot to get a Cubs fan to come to St. I actually wore my my Cubs jersey on the last day of the conference. No. I have a picture. I should bring you guys down the hall. I have a picture on the wall of me with my arm around Vernon Ross, and I'm wearing my Chicago Cubs jersey, and he's just trying not to smile because he knows.
Yes.
But that's really what it's all about. Is just having fun, building these relationships, getting to know somebody. And, I hope that this energy comes across, right? That we want to create a memorable experience for you at MDMC. I know that a lot of these speakers that I referenced before just love channeling this energy and really creating this really exciting, this memory for you to carry through. I know Vanessa Cabrera is another great example of that, when you see Vanessa speak, she just like she's got lightning bolts coming out of her hands. Right? Like you just know that she's gonna get you jazzed up when she's going, and that's a lot of what I think we're going to talk about. Knowing Stephanie, knowing Bonnie, and knowing Daphne really well. That live streaming. Again, I know that every year it's a very popular panel, and I'm really, really humbled to get a chance to be part of it again. But I'm really, really glad to be able to share some more of these lessons about how you can create a live stream that just makes you want to get up and jump and dance and feel like you want to take action when you're done, just like sharing this out and possibly winning a copy of the book today.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, there's so much excitement. I always leave so inspired, and I hear that from a lot of people when I go to any conference, and especially MDMC. Just there's so much that you leave with, and a lot of that is just being inspired to become a better marketer and to learn more. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna pick our winners. We have Christian Johnson. So awesome. You attended last year. We're so excited. Chris will be sending you a book. Just shoot us a Facebook message on the MDMC Facebook page with your address, and I'll get all that information over to Chris. And then the other winner will be Bill Skarowski. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but that's what I'm going to go with. Thank you so much for joining us, and it looks like you'll be joining us at MDMC 19 as well, so that is awesome. So you'll definitely have to stop by and say hi to Chris when he's running around. All right, well, I don't see any other questions, so I think that is going to be this week's episode. Thank you so much, Chris, for joining us, and for everyone who joined us today.
Thank you, Brianna, and thank you to Christian and Bill for sharing out as well. That's really, really cool.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you both. And we will see you guys. If you want tomorrow, please join us at 10 a.m. Central. We will be doing our Twitter chat with Steph Nissen, who is an awesome, also MDMC speaker. So just join us by following the hashtag MDMC19 to join in that conversation at 10 a.m. Central. And then next Monday at 2 p.m. Central, we will also be chatting with Vanessa Cabrera. So join us again, and we'll see you at MDMC in April. Bye.
Go Cubs, go.